Evangelion turns 30 this year, so there is a huge event in Japan. Let's check it out. From my hotel, I headed straight to Yokohama Arena, where the Eva 30 event was being held. The crowds were insane, but as expected of Japan, everything was super organized. Everyone had a timed entry ticket, and there were even numbered spots on the ground, showing where to stand while waiting. As soon as you got in, you were handed a map and a goodie bag of Eva freebies, which turned out to be mostly Evangelion flyers, but there was this cool card inside too. The first area I checked out was Eva Extra 30, and it was honestly kind of insane. There was so much to see that it felt overwhelming at first. So let me try to break it down. To start, there were these giant display panels in a big circle, showing Eva interfaces, all synced up to music and lights around the venue. It honestly felt like stepping into Nerve's control room. Every few minutes, these screens would switch to these mini presentations. Some focused on the characters, while others showed Eva's animation process. This is kinda downplaying it, but imagine the coolest Evangelion screensavers you've ever seen. The highlight was the Last Kiss video. It was like an anime music video, summarizing the entire history of Eva, synced to Hikaru Utada's song. It was honestly so beautiful that people around me were crying. I watched it from both above and below, and from above, you could see how the lights were perfectly synced together. This Eva Extra area was full of tons of different cool displays. One of my favorites was this wall of old CRT TVs playing episodes from the original Eva anime. There were 26 TVs, one for each episode of the original series, all looping in perfect sync. So when the ending theme started, every screen hit it all at once, and we got to see the iconic floating ray across every screen. It was awesome. And even though I wasn't completely done checking out this Eva Extra area, I really wanted to check out the fans market before everything sold out. The fans market was basically like an artist alley, where fans could sell their own Eva creations. The studio behind Eva, Studio Khara, has always been pretty lenient with fan works, especially compared to other studios in Japan. Honestly, in Canada and the States, licensing can feel a bit like the Wild West, but in Japan, where these anime are actually made, things can be a lot stricter and quite gray, which kind of sums up a lot of Japan's rules. Strict but gray. All the artists were super talented, and I ended up buying these two beautiful handmade pendants. After that, I spent some time walking around the rest of the venue because there were tons of different areas. Everyone working there was super friendly, and the security guards were even wearing Nerve uniforms. There were figures, lots of character cutouts, and even some local tourism booths. One of them was even advertising Ube City, where Eva's creator was born. A park in Ube City actually has a giant Lance of Longinus in it, and this booth had a mini version to advertise that. I say mini, but it's still pretty huge though. I actually visited Ube City recently, so seeing it here was really cool, and reminded me I still need to make a video about that trip. I then walked through this area that had tons of official Evangelion posters from over 30 years of the series, showing all kinds of weird and cool Eva collabs. There were things like this typing game, the infamous 18+ Mahjong game, and even Evangelion katanas. Katanas. I can't speak. Anyways, sometimes when you come across really strange official Eva art, it's usually from these kinds of collabs. I'm actually quite into these offbeat Eva projects, like for the history and weird lore. I then went back to the Eva Extra area because I had a time ticket to enter the Pachinko experience. Eva has apparently collabed with Pachinko parlors for more than 20 years, using official music, voice actors, but with some wild new storylines. I kinda like this one, where Rei and Asuka give off like Madoka Magica Doom Jury vibes. I hope people get what I mean. So this was actually my first time trying Pachinko, and it was very confusing. I honestly had no idea what was going on, but I guess I lost. Even still, the nice staff gave me a random pin, and I ended up getting Kaoru! So I got Kaoru, and I was really happy with that. I also had a timed entry ticket to try Khara's virtual camera, a technology that the studio actually developed that lets you control a camera inside the world of Evangelion. So basically, you can move the camera around and film scenes inside Eva's world. This kind of camera was actually used to make parts of the Rebuild movies, so it was super cool to try it out myself. They even sent you the data of the video you took after. I put the one I took on the bottom of the screen. I think I did all right, but more than that, it was really fun. From here on, I spent some time exploring more of the displays. There was a whole area dedicated to Evangelion figures. Some figures were brand new and actually being sold at the event, while others were nearly 30 years old and just there for the history. As a longtime collector myself, it felt very nostalgic. By the way, the new promo art for the event showed the Eva pilots wearing Eva 30 t-shirts, and there was tons of new merch built around this design. Besides just figures, there were also lots of official collaborations. There were tech collabs like Eva tablets and earphones, lifestyle stuff like clothing and cell phone cases. There was even a Sapporo beer collab, which I'm surprised they didn't use Misato for their advertising. But I guess Misato's always been more a Ebisu woman. Having her drink Sapporo, would that be out of character or something? Anyways, all these industry booths were super cool, and obviously a lot of thought was put into the Eva aesthetic to make that money. No, I'm kidding, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really kidding, but at the same time, a lot of this stuff looked really awesome. Next, I saw the official animation cells from Eva. You couldn't take video here, but pictures were okay. It felt really strange, seeing cells that were used in the original series. And I know I'm gonna sound super chunibyo, but they felt like they had a mysterious power or something. After that, I checked out this wall that was signed by Hideaki Anno, Eva's voice actors, and tons of other Eva staff. It also had thousands of fan messages on it. There were lots of thank yous, congratulations, and beautiful hand-drawn pictures. It was really moving to see all these messages, both in Japanese and all kinds of other languages. Eva had really connected so many different people from all different countries to one piece of media. I even added my own drawing of Asuka. I love drawing, but I'm not an artist. From here, I really didn't want to leave the event. I was having so much fun, just walking around, taking in the atmosphere, and talking to other Eva fans. But it was over, and a lot of the crowd had gone home, so I left. But I did take some final video and pictures outside the venue. Now, I want to mention, most of what you've seen so far was actually from the second day of the event. So let's go back to day one. On the first day, I couldn't film very much, and there's a reason for that. I had special tickets for the exclusive stage event with Hideaki Anno, the voice actors, and other Evangelion staff. It was a full schedule of live performances and Q&As with no filming, but it was definitely one of the most memorable parts of the entire event. So while I can't show much of it, I can tell you what it was like. It was super exciting and surprisingly emotional. Like a lot of fans around me, I cried a lot, especially because the opening show started with Yoko Takahashi suddenly coming out on stage, singing the Evangelion opening theme. This wasn't even listed in the schedule, so it was a complete surprise, and everyone just lost their minds.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Moments like this made me realize just how huge this whole event actually was. Eva 30 lasted 3 whole days, and there were live concerts, fashion shows, orchestras, and even kabuki, all inspired by Eva. And so many talented people had put tons of hard work into making this event happen. Even with all that going on, the day still had plenty of these small, fun moments too. Like during one of the breaks, I grabbed these limited Eva donuts. I'm not familiar with the brand, but the art is really cute, and I was lucky enough to pull this Asuka sticker. I also got this sticker from Iwanaga, Kensuke's voice actor, who was walking around, giving them out. That felt unreal. I then rushed to the official Eva Store on site. It took 2 hours to get in, and lots of things had already sold out. I decided to quickly get the things I wanted and get the hell out of there, so I wouldn't miss any performances. Most people were eating in line outside. It was that busy. As for merch, I ended up getting this exclusive Asuka plushie and this fan light that looks like the crosses from Evangelion. And I really couldn't help but think that the whole thing felt a little cult-like. thousands of people waving glowing crosses in the air during the shows, clapping, laughing, and crying together. At this point, I'm pretty sure Evangelion is a cult. And yeah, I guess I'm a part of it. But let's continue. During the stage performances, filming wasn't allowed, although that didn't stop some people. And the most highly anticipated moment of the entire day came right at the very end. The final stage show was the new Asuka short film, and you may have even heard that someone secretly recorded it and leaked it online. I actually have lots of thoughts about the leak drama, as well as the meaning of the short itself, but I already talked about that in another video. So if you're curious, you can watch that next. Or you can stay with me a little longer if you want to hear my raw feelings about the event. Hey, so I'm back at the hotel and the Evangelion 30 event is over and I'm feeling kind of bummed out about it, to be honest. It was an amazing event. I laughed, I cried, which is kind of rare for me, to be honest. But it was an event that I think emotionally touched many Evangelion fans because especially when you've been a fan for a long time, it felt like a celebration of all the love everyone has for Eva, and it was amazing. It was super moving. Like, honestly, it was so moving. Just a beautiful, beautiful event. And I'm really glad I was able to share it with you guys, whether you were able to go or not. I hope you were able to feel all the love that people all over the world have for Eva. So, yeah. I wanted to end the day and end the Evangelion 30 event Misato style. So I'm gonna crack this open. Let's give a kanpai cheers to the Evangelion 30 event. It was amazing, and I think it touched a lot of Evangelion fans. So here we go, Misato style. I know I'm dressed up as Asuka, but I'm not a kid. Think of me as like a older version of Asuka. Kanpai! Cheers! Ah! I can't do it seriously. Ah! That hits the spot. That's the best. Evangelion marketing at its finest. Anyways, the event was so amazing, so touching. I have so much more to say about it, but I've been like rushing around and been so busy, so it was really hard to get some time to like actually get my words out. But I hope to do that when I edit, and you'll see that soon. Sabisu. And I'm sorry if I'm super corny. I love Eva so much and it makes me corny. It brings out the crazy. And do you want to see crazy? Not that crazy, just like low-key. In the name of Eva, I cast out the demons! This is like my new favorite thing. I'm obsessed. Obsessed with this weird thing that, I don't know, it feels like a cursed and holy item at the same time. Anyways, I'm exhausted, so I'm gonna drink the rest of this and go to bed. But tomorrow, I'm going to go to an Evangelion cafe, and it will be fun. So stick around and watch that. Not sure if I'm gonna put it in this video or the next video. Good night! Okay.